Tutorial on Network Advertisement and BGP and Next HOP Self-Feature by Indian Cybersecurity Solutions.
Hello everybody, my name is Debashish. I'm the Senior Network Trainer as well as Cisco Networking Specialist at the Indian Cybersecurity Solutions. And these are my contact information for LinkedIn and Twitter. Today I'm going to talk about BGP network advertisement. So you can advertise networks in BGP, and for that BGP uses network statement to advertise networks. But there is a difference between advertising networks from OSPF and in BGP. In OSPF, we need to give only the classful network ID. Say I have created an IP address as 1111. So you could give 1.0.0.0. But here, the exact network ID should be added to advertise the network. For example, network 1.1.1.0 should be given for the IP address 1111, right? And the mask 255.255.255.0 should be there to denote the first three octets as the network part. The second feature is BGP next hop self. Now there is a problem in BGP that BGP does not change the next hop router IP address. So it creates a reachability issue between internal and external BGP. Means if there is a downstream router, then it doesn't know the path to the external BGP source because the upstream router hasn't announced or advertised the next hop IP address of the router. So the next hop self command to be configured manually on that upstream router to advertise itself as its next hop to the other routers. We'll do it practically and we'll see a bit later. So this is our diagram that we have configured R1 and R2 as the iBGP neighbors and R2 and R3 as the eBGP neighbors. So R1 and R2 are in AS12 and R3 is in AS3. So what happens that I advertise 3330 network on R3, but the R1 doesn't have any route to that 3330 because it understands that its default gateway or the next hop to reach 3330 is 192.168.23.3, that is the AS3. But actually it should be 192.168.12.2, that is the R2's interface. So actually R2 has two options. It can advertise the 23.0 network that is connected from R2 to R3 to R1, or it can advertise itself as a next hop for R1 to reach 3330. So these are two options to solve the reachability problem. So we'll see how to advertise the routes in eBGP and how to solve the next hop problem now in GNS3 simulator. So in GNS3 we have this topology, and R1 and R2 is already configured as the iBGP neighbors and it is configured in AS100, and R2 and R3 has an eBGP relationship and R3 is in AS200. So it is already configured, the neighbor relationships are configured actually. So what we can do, we can go to R3 and we can create a loopback interface say 3331 and we can advertise that network. So let's do that. Go to R3, create an interface back 0, IP address would be 3331 and subnet mask would be 255.255.255.0. Okay, and now we need to advertise this network. So we have to go to the router BGP and S number is 200 on this R3 and advertise the network. How to advertise? Give the network statement and give the network ID, say 3330. You have to give this way, not 3000 but 3330, the exact ID. And the mask would be that 52556. Now it is advertised. Now check the R2's database. In the R2, you give the command show IP BGP you can see that 3330 network is already there in the R2 database, and next hop would be 12002. If you give this command show IP route BGP to check the routing table of BGP, the 3330 is already there in the routing table. But if I go to R1 now, and if I give show IP BGP, see the 3330 network is there as the internal route. I means internal and valid route. But the next hop is 12002. That is the IP address of the R3, but it should be the IP address of the R2. That is 11002. So the next hop is wrong. And if you give the command show IP route BGP to view the routing table, there is no route because R1 is not able to enter the routing information routing table because the next hop address is incorrect. So what can it be done? We need to go to R2, and first is we can advertise the network between the R2 and R3. That is 1200 network to R1. So you go to router BGP and the S number is 100 on R2 and advertise the network 12000 mask 255000. And now if you go to R1, if you go to the show IP BGP, you can see that 120 network is coming as internal BGP, and the next hop is now 11002. That is the correct address of R2. And if you view the routing table also, you'll see that 33 network is there as well as 12000. So the path is created to the 33 network. Now, can it ping the 3.3.3.1? Can the R1 ping the network? No, it cannot. But in the routing table we can see the 33 network. So why can't it ping? Because the return path is not there. Means the 1100 network is not described or advertised from the R1. So what can be done? Say for example R2 will advertise the 1100 network also. That is the network between R1 and R2. And now if you see, yes, it can ping because the other 1100 network is also advertised by R2. So this is one process. Another is that R2, instead of advertising 1200 network, it can advertise itself as the next hop for R1. So for that, what needs to be done? Say for example, let the 1100 network be advertised, but you just remove this 120. This is not advertised. And again, if you go to R1, again 3331 is not pinging because it has got the default gateway address. The next hop as incorrect. So it should get the next hop as 11002, not as 12002. So in that case, you go to R2 and instead of advertising this 120 network, you just give this command neighbor and the R1's IP, that is 11001, next hop self. So it is advertising itself as the next hop address for R1. Now you go to R1 and see the BGP is showing you the 3.3.3.3 network, and you go and check the routing table. Yes, 3.3 network is there, and see the next hop is for 3.3.3. The next hop is 11002. That is changed from the previous one. It was showing as 12002. Now it is 11002. So the R2 router is the next hop. So can it ping now? Yes, it can, because that is the alternative. One is you can advertise the network, and other is that you can advertise the next hop cell. So these are two options for BGP. So I have explained to you theoretically, and I have also shown you practically in GNS3 how to solve the next hop cell problem and how to advertise networks in BGP, BGP and IBGP. I hope this was informative for you. I hope you have enjoyed this. And if you like this, you have enjoyed this, please like and subscribe our channels for more videos. So we'll come with some other topics on BGP some other day. Until then, it's goodbye.